So I absolutely crushed it once again on the day, going 2 for 2, buying SPY call options at the exact lows, back-to-back wins, making multiple 100% profit return. I'm going to be breaking down the trades that I ended up making. It was solely based off of the key levels, the break and retest strategy, and the unique 30-minute candlestick confirmations that I gave you, along with the gap close reversal to fill the gap above strategy. I'm going to be breaking down the trades, then I'm going to be getting into the new money-making information. Make sure you stay till the end, because in terms of this overall game plan that I'm going to be providing to you, it's going to be absolutely spot on, and it's likely going to work to perfection. Let's get straight into it. So in terms of the overall SPY, you guys were well aware, if you watched the overall game plans, I was very interested in buying call options once we fill the gap and once we go to oversold break and retest levels. In terms of one of the oversold break and retest levels, which was also at a gap that was waiting to fill below, you're going to see right here, 598. There was a gap to fill right around here at 598. There was also resistance in the extended hours trading session at 598. Once the SPY had a massive break above that level, it ended up dropping back down during extended hours trading session, having a reversal, a break and retest back to back during extended hours trading levels. One thing to note that's very important to be aware of is, in terms of extended hours trading session, when you're seeing these big moves and when you're seeing strategies and overreactions to the upside and downside play out during the extended hours trading session, they tend to be the best levels to be trading at during the normal trading hours. So what I'm telling you is, if you see resistance during the extended hours trading session at 598, then we get a massive breakout, and then we drop right back down to that previous resistance and it reacts to support, 30-minute bullish candlestick confirmation. Once that occurs during normal trading hours, tends to be a great opportunity to buy calls. And you're going to see right here, if we disable extended hours trading session, it wasn't just a break and retest resistance level. There was also a gap that was waiting to fill below at 598. And there was also a gap that was waiting to fill below at 601, right? So if you combine the overall strategies, we're talking about a break and retest. And what makes it more special is the strategy already played out during extended hours trading session. But like I said, in my experience, as long as there's confirmation, once it hits that level for the first time during the normal trading hours session, it tends to be an amazing level to trade that same strategy again, as long as the confirmation is there. So looking at the overreaction to the downside, I had noticed that the SPY had a gap close reversal. You know, we ended up reversing out the gap with a red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation right here at 605.30, opening up with a massive gap down. And once I noticed that it was consolidating and holding at that break and retest level, which is where a gap was waiting to fill below as well, for an hour straight, I told myself I'm buying SPY call options at open, because there's a 30-minute green bullish trend reversal confirmation. There's an hour of consolidation. We are extremely oversold. The SPY is going to try to have that break and retest play out for the first time during the normal hour trading session, where it hits this resistance level, then we have the breakout, then we drop back down, retest, react to support, spike back up to fill the gap that was waiting to fill above. You can even see right here, there was a gap to fill above at 602, right? So the point being is, if that bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmation is there, it's going to try to bottom at the break and retest level right here. It's going to try to reverse at the gap. Then the SPY is going to start to spike to the next gap. There was a gap to fill right here at 601. If that reacts to support, then the SPY is going to start to spike to the next resistance level and overall to the next gap, which is towards 605.30. So in terms of that overall strategy, it was a break and retest, right? And what made it more special was it was based off of an extended hours level where the strategy already worked. But like I said, when it hits for the first time during normal trading hours, tends to be a great opportunity to play that level as well. That already played out during extended hours trading session, along with the gap close reversal strategy, along with playing for the gap to fill above. SPY closed the gap. Now it's going to serve the purpose in trying to fill the gaps that are waiting to fill above. So in terms of the trades that I ended up making, I ended up going 2 for 2 on the day. You're going to see right here. I ended up buying SPY call options at 9:34 a.m., 601 SPY calls at 110 cents. If you go to 601 calls at 110 cents, you're going to see I literally bought these SPY calls at the exact lows using the game plan and the curriculum that I provide to you. This is where I ended up buying the SPY calls right here. And you're going to see in terms of where I ended up exiting these calls, I ended up exiting at 9:52 a.m. at 173 cents a contract, leaving 20% to run. So in terms of where I ended up exiting, I exited right here at the exact peak before the contracts dropped back down to my initial entry. And then in terms of re-entering, I ended up re-entering the same contracts shortly after exiting at 10:14 a.m. at 103 cents a contract. So I ended up rebuying at a slightly better entry towards the exact lows back to back. And then I ended up selling the short-term peak, as you're going to see right here, at 10:19 a.m. I ended up selling at 140 cents a contract, leaving 30% to run. And then I ended up selling the runners at 191 cents at 10:25 a.m. right here on this short-term peak. So using the break and retest strategy, gap close reversal to fill the gap above, do you understand the whole deck that I've acquired through my experience of trading? You know, obviously that's not everything, but you see the stack, you see how I'm stacking everything within my favor. It's not just levels, it's confirmations, it's strategies, break and retest, extended hours level, where the break and retest strategy literally already worked. Meaning, since it worked during this extended hours trading session, it's going to be a very special level when it tests that level for the first time. Resistance is here, break above resistance is here, overreaction to the upside, overreaction to the downside, break, retest, reacts to support, bullish 30-minute candlestick, strong breakout to fill the gap above. Same exact strategy played out to an exact T at one of my oversold levels, right? And the confirmation was there. SPY reversed at the gap, dropped, reversed at the gap at 598, gap close reversal, break and retest, hour of consolidation, green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations. In terms of continuation to be buying calls, right? In terms of your continuation to be buying calls, there was a gap to fill right here at 601, and all the SPY was doing was forming green bullish 30-minute pins and green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations, which is why I got back in on calls as well to play for the gaps to fill above, along with the green, red, green bullish pattern for a breakout to start to fill the gap that's waiting to fill above right here at 605.31. If you use my levels and you use the curriculum, you should have had a phenomenal green day. You should have made hundreds of dollars, if not over $1,000. Those were the trades that I ended up making on the overall day. In terms of the trades, that G-Roar ended up calling out, he absolutely crushed it during the power hour trading session. Unfortunately, he did end up trying puts at the market open. The market open didn't work in that sense if you tried puts. But in terms of the extended hours trading session, absolutely crushed it during the power hour trading session. You're going to see right here at 2:46 p.m., we ended up buying SPX calls for 115 cents a contract, right? So if you go to SPX and you go to these overall call options, man, the power hour fucking plays were fucking crazy. You could have made multiple 100% profit returns very quickly. 2:46 p.m., 6065 SPX calls. You're going to see right here, this is where we got in, right here in the low 100s, and 3 minutes later, they went to 250. They went up over 100% plus, right? And then in terms of the next one, you're going to see right here, 6045 SPX puts for 80 cents a contract. You go to 6045 SPX puts right here. These were the entries. We entered this trade twice. This is where we got in, and it quickly went from 100 all the way to 300 a contract within less than just 10 minutes. And then in terms of the re-entry was back to back at the exact fucking lows. So G-Roar absolutely crushed it and made up for that during power hour. But man, we just fucking killed it as a whole, as a collective today. I mean, just look at the fucking trades, man. Like I said, man, if you look at the next trade, it was literally the same strike, 6045 SPX puts for 90 cents a contract, right? Literally at the lows, right here, 3:50 p.m. You're going to see 3:50 p.m. right here. This is where we got in, and it quickly went from 120 all the way to 260, right? So you should be getting profit stopped out. As this goes up, you set the profit stop. When you're up 15% plus, you get profit stopped out. You sell into the moves, you move the profit stop up higher. So those are the overall trades that we ended up making on the overall day. If you're serious about trading alongside with us, it's going to be the first link down below within the description. Now, in terms of the new money making game plan, this is going to be so simple, so simple. The main focus is going to be to buy call options on the SPY. So in terms of the game plan, there's going to be multiple zones where you could buy call options at, right? I'm going to walk you through this. You're going to see right here, there is a bullish daily candlestick on the SPY right here. This is the green bullish daily candlestick. So if you go back throughout the chart history, when SPY's at key support, keep in mind we just reversed the 2 gaps and we have a gap to fill above at 605.31. Based off of this overall pattern, the SPY is extremely bullish and it's going to try to fill the gap and it's going to try to even go higher above the gap. This is a very bullish overall daily pattern along with the 10-day, 30-minute pattern, right? So the SPY is in the process of not only where it's reversing out the oversold gaps from 598 and 601, but it's also filling the gap that's waiting to fill above at 605.31, and it's going to try to attempt within time to push above that. This is a very bullish situation. If you go back historically and study how the SPY reacts in this particular situation, especially in comparison of this daily candlestick right here to this daily candlestick right here to this daily candlestick right here, you're going to see a lot of similarities. This daily candlestick right here, this daily candlestick right here, lots and lots of similarities. So overall, this is a very bullish trend. On a very bullish trend, best thing you can do is buy an oversold fucking dip. So if you're seeing oversold dips at the key levels I'm going to provide to you, make sure you're buying calls. Now, you can see right here, same bullish daily candlestick. So you get the point. Very, very bullish, right? Same bullish daily candlestick. So let's start off with the gap up. So if the SPY opens up higher than the previous closing price, 603.36, right? If we're opening up higher than 603.36, then the first level of interest to buy calls is at the previous closing price for another gap close reversal, right? So 603.36, if we gap up, is the first level of interest to buy call options. Now, if we are gapping up, we're going to be focused on buying call options at the higher levels. So the main lower level would be at 603.36, right? If we're gapping up. Now, in terms of the higher levels, it's going to be more the break and retest. So if we gap up, 603.36 is considered a gap close reversal along with an oversold break and retest. Now, in terms of the higher break and retest levels, is going to be the following. So in terms of like next resistance levels, we're going to be looking at 604.20 to 604.50 zone. Next zone above that is going to be very, very simple, 605 to 605.60 to 70 zone. Those are going to be the 2 resistance zone where I would be interested in buying call options. Now, just keep in mind in terms of the upper resistance, we do have a gap that's waiting to fill above at 605.30. It could potentially drop first. So if you're going to play this higher resistance level, make sure that there is a clear floor, bottom bullish pins, green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations, green bullish 30-minute patterns, slightly at or above the level. Be very, very meticulous with those overall confirmations that you're going to be using if you're going to trade the higher levels, because like I said, it could potentially drop first, but overall, this is bullish. This is very, very bullish. The overall trend is bullish. Even if it does drop first from 605.30 to 605.70, it's still overall bullish. So what I'm telling you is just be a bit more careful and use good confirmations if you're going to be trading at those over higher levels. You know, if I'm going with oversold levels and it makes sense in the situation, I'll be less lenient on the confirmations I use as long as the play makes sense. Like if we're dropping all the way to 598 and I'm seeing one green bullish 30-minute candlestick in the break and retest gap close reversal, testing the first, extended hours trading level for the first time during the normal trading hours, like I'm just getting in, man. I'm just getting in. It's like, man, if people weren't watching extended hours, they missed out on the confirmation. The confirmation was during extended hours. If you waited during normal trading hours, you would have been in on call options all the way up fucking here. I literally got in directly at open because I said the confirmation was in the pre-market. So I'm going to get in at market open. I'm just going to hop in calls, scale into the trade a little bit. Exactly what I did, right? So I gave you the levels. If we gap up, those are going to be the overall buy zones. In terms of profit targets, the next level above that would be 606.30, which is make or break. You need to understand that 606.30 is major fucking resistance. Once we break above 606.30, that is when we see 608 to 610 zone. That's the next level zone above that, right? So in terms of tomorrow, there's literally no fucking game plan for puts. My main focus will be calls. So in that particular situation, if all I want to do is buy calls, I'll mainly just wait for the best confirmations. And if I don't get any confirmations at the levels, I just won't do anything, right? So I have multiple game plans for calls, like in terms of like a flat open. So this is the other game plan for calls. If we open up flat, or if we're gapping down, or let's just say we react bearish at the previous closing price, right? Say I took calls at the previous closing price, it doesn't work out. Or say, it looked bearish at the previous closing price, so I decided to do nothing. But you get the point, right? Flat open or gap down or react bearish at 603.36, then my main focus would be towards oversold levels, unless there was a strong bullish 30-minute candlestick, at the previous closing price, only if we open up flat. But, if we're just reacting bearish or gapping down, then I'm going to be focused on buying call options at the oversold levels. So in terms of the oversold levels that I have for tomorrow, again, very unlikely that we hit these if we gap up or as long as we stay above the previous closing price. So if we're opening up flat, but we're holding above the previous closing price, forming higher support, yes, I'll be interested in breaking retest levels. If we're opening up flat and just maintaining above previous closing price, of course I'll be interested. I'm just saying in terms of like upper levels and in true strength, it'd be that gap the fuck up. But anyways, man, in terms of oversold levels, you just need to understand, man, this is very bullish. We had resistance right here towards 602, green, red, green, higher support at 602. Again, another break and fucking retest. Like, this is all very fucking bullish, man. So in terms of calls in an oversold level, it would just have to be a support level. So in terms of support, I would keep an eye on 602.50. But for me, in terms of like an oversold level, that's more of a higher one that I'm not too interested in on, but I'll keep an eye on it. If we see confirmation, I'll go with that one. But I would be eyeing this 601, and this 600. That would be the oversold zone for calls, 600 to 601, if we're reacting bearish at the previous closing price. So that is the overall game plan, man. Like I said, in terms of all the trades and the analysis, everything was 100% spot on. When you see the SPY on the 1 minute chart, forming this bullish W like this is very, very bullish. I can assure you, in terms of my experience trading the SPY, this same exact day has happened throughout the past. And that's another reason why I was able to trade it so well, because not only did I remember what happened throughout my same experience trading literally this exact day, it felt like with the patterns and the trend recognition, but I was also very well equipped and prepared because I planned a day before the market opens. It was if you just watch the overall videos, I told you, man, I'm just going to be buying call options at oversold levels. I'm going to be using the break and retest strategy. I'm going to be using the 30-minute candlestick confirmations. It was just such a fucking killer play, man. I'm telling you, if you use that information I gave you with the extended hours trading session, your trading is going to be on a whole nother fucking level, man. If you wait for a strategy to play out during the extended hours trading session, right? So this is resistance. This is resistance at 598. The SPY had a gap up. So it had a break above resistance and it had a gap up. And it came crashing back down during extended hours. The resistance was during extended hours. The gap up was during extended hours. The retest was during extended hours. And the strategy worked. And I'm telling you, if you see a strategy that works both ways during extended hours trading session, is a very special level, an opportunity to be playing that strategy when it hits again at that desired level where it worked during the normal trading hour session, man. Like, look at that. You had the resistance at 598. You had the big overreaction to the upside. Then you had the big overreaction to the downside. Then you had the retest for the first time. This is where it retest during extended hours, but you had the retest for first time during normal trading hours. But the confirmation was in the pre-market to get in. So that's why I got in directly at market open. It's like, I'm telling you, man, if you use that and you wait for the best overreactions, that's literally what the best setup at the best price looks like. You have a resistance level, you have a breakout, you have a gap up, you have a drop back down, it's reversing at the gap, it's having a break and retest, overreaction to the upside, overreaction to the downside, overreaction to the upside, overreaction to the downside. When it tests for the first time during the normal trading hours session, that extended hours play could play out again for the first time during the normal trading hours session, man. I'm telling you, keep that in mind, man. Look at this. We just had a gap close reversal at 6:05:30 during the extended hours trading session. So if you were to scalp against the trend and you're seeing bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmations, you can try a quick scalp at 6:05:30. I'm just towards 6:05:70. I'm just letting you know the overall trend is super fucking bullish and you're going to be trading against that overall trend. And no matter what style of trading, if you trade against the trend, you are at a disadvantage. The disadvantage to trading against the trend is you cannot hold the trade. It doesn't make sense to hold a trade that's against the trend, which is another reason why people who trade against the trend will use stop losses to minimize their overall losses, because why would they want to lose everything they put into the trade when it's not worthy of holding anyways, if that makes sense, right? That's why I really focus on trading the trend, because it gives you the advantage to hold the trade for the biggest wins, and you don't even need to enable stop losses because what we're putting into the trade is our max risk per trade. So I hope that makes sense, man. I mean, if you've been watching the overall game plans and utilizing the information, I mean, I would hope you had an amazing green day today, man. using the break and retest, that was my fucking deck. I mean, my deck heading into the market open was very simple, you know? I said there's resistance right here, and I told you the overall trend has been break and retest strategies. Best way to use strategies on overreactions, overreaction to the upside, overreaction to the downside. Overreaction to the upside, overreaction to the downside. Close the gap during normal trading hours. Trend reversal, green 30-minute candlestick, shoots up to fill the gap above. Trend reversal, green 30-minute candlestick, shoots up to fill the gap above. 601. 601 is make or break. If it reverses at that gap, well, we had a break above 601. We had a break above the gap, close reversal. Green, red, green. Gonna start to fill the gap. Take it one strategy at a time. The deck was perfect. Break and retest, gap, close, reversal to fill the gap that was waiting to fill above at 605.31. And you could have used the strategy multiple times throughout the fucking day. You had the gap right here at 598. It closed the gap during extended hours. Green bullish 30-minute candlesticks, gap close reversal, break and retest. You had the gap right here at 601. It had a break above the gap, green, red, green, and this is a very green bullish trend reversal candlestick right here, right? You can see the same candle form right here, overall trend was bullish, right? Same candlestick form right here, overall trend was bullish. Green, red, green, green, red, green. Everything I am telling you is going to continue to repeat at the speed of fucking light. Do you understand? If you are watching this video, you found the hidden fucking gem. You found something that actually works if you apply yourself to it. I'm showing you step by step how to win every single fucking day. If you use the game plan I gave you today, you should be going off tomorrow in green, man. So that's the overall strategy. That's the overall game plan. Break and retest, gap reversal, break and retest, gap reversal, green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations, green bullish 30-minute candlestick pin, green bullish 30-minute candlestick pin, green bullish 30-minute candlestick pin, uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. History repeated itself. SPY started to explode up to fill the gaps when it was having bullish confirmations to reverse the gaps. Then we had another break and retest, resistance, 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 break, retest, retest, bullish, bullish, fill the gap. Like, dude, this is so fucking bullish, man. Oversold dips if we're reacting bearish at the previous closing price. If we're reacting bullish at the previous closing price, calls, break and retest, calls, 604, 605, 605.70. It's like, dude, losing is a personal fucking choice if you use the deck I'm giving you, man. So you let me know how you guys did today. Let me know, how you do tomorrow in terms of the overall game plan. For those of you who are serious about trading alongside us, it's going to be the first link down below within the description. You gain access to my real-time analysis. You gain access to my real-time trades. You gain access to our real-time trading alert system, man. It's the first link down below within the description. We trade cheap, far out of the money option contracts. We're known for selling them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains with the highest win rate in the game doing this, right? I mean, the results speak for themselves. The game plans speak for themselves. If you're using information, you should be able to green at the speed of fucking light. But some people, they just don't want to implement. They don't want to be self-sufficient. I mean, if you use the information, you should be self-sufficient. Look at this, 10:30 a.m. This is when I was done selling calls, literally green as fuck on the day, done 2 for 2 within the first hour. This is another break and retest level. This could be the last oversold dip before 603. That was posted at 10:30 a.m. 1 a.m. You see, I give you opportunities not to just take advantage of my trades. You could take advantage of my trades in multiple ways. Use it to your confluence, use it to your confirmation. Don't just blindly follow. Use my trades to learn my fucking strategy. You get to see where I'm entering real time. You get to trade alongside me. That's an advantage to learn my trades, right? But you also have opportunities in the day where I'm just going to give you analysis, right? And in terms of analysis, that's your opportunity for some guidance for you to be self-sufficient. I give you a little bit of everything, right? So right here I said, this is another break and retest level. This could be the last oversold dip before 603. Again, I don't feel the need to take advantage of every single little opportunity that I see in a sense. I was already green as fuck on the day, man. It's like, I'm good. But if people want to take advantage of it and use that to their experience, maybe try it out in terms of like, okay, I'm going to use this to be self-sufficient. I'm going to try out this analysis, use it to my advantage, right? Analysis is very helpful as well. But this could be very bullish, oversold dips, 603, 30-minute is bullish as fuck. I made it very clear that the whole fucking day was going to be a bullish trend day. Like I said, I've relived this day. This same exact day literally happened again. I promise you, if you trade SPY from open to close, if you just observe and watch it and you make like, a couple trades a day, when you see the right opportunities, you're going to start to see that the same days are happening over and over and over again. The same exact patterns, the same exact days, just slightly different levels are happening over and over and over again, man. I mean, especially, if you're good at like remembering what it is that you've experienced throughout the overall market, you should really start to have like that photogenic, like that photographic mind where you just start to remember everything it is that's happening. Like I'm telling you, this is just one of those days. Your intuition will speak to you as well. But this right here on the 1 minute, this is a very bullish W. This is a very bullish trend right here. This is a very bullish pattern, this W, in terms of an over a bullish trend day. And then I noticed that the previous day high was at 601.50, and we had a break above 601.50. Then we had a retest reacting as support, and 30-minute was bullish as fuck, right? That's why I said, this is likely going to be, this is obvious. Well, it's obviously the new break and retest level, but this could be the last oversold dip before 603, right? So you get the point, man. So if you want to trade alongside us, is the first thing down below the description. We trade cheap, far, out-of-money option contracts. We're known for selling them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. We don't use stop losses. We put in our entire position size as our max risk per trade. So if the trade expires worthless and goes to zero, then the most we're going to lose is what we put in, which is our max risk per trade, our R multiple. In terms of what we can make unlimited profit potential, right? We can make multiple R multiples. We have some trades where we make over 1,000%, which is 10 plus R multiples, right? If you make 10 R multiples, you can lose 9 R multiples consecutively and still be green. And the most we lose is what we put in, and what we put in is our R multiple. That's the best part about options, is you know exactly how much it is that you can lose. If the contract expire worthless go to zero, most is what you put in your max risk per trade as your R multiple, right? So with that being said, in terms of some background to the overall system as well, we have over a decade of experience, and it's just understanding as well that we set profit stops. When we are green on a trade, we set a profit stop when we're at 15% to ensure that we don't go green to red. Plus, if we get profit stopped out, we can always get back in on that same overall trade with the confirmation, right? We move the profit stops up higher to ensure that we don't get back the bulk of our gains if the market has a big move against us, right? And another way that we increase wins is adding to winners. When we're up a little bit on a trade, we add to the win to increase to the winners. And then one small move in our favor protects our new average cost, setting the profit stop, increase the overall gains, right? Now, when we're down on a play, like 50, 60, 70%, we just hold it. We have the entire day for the trade to go green or for the trade to go in the money. If it goes in the money, we're going to make some massive percentage gains. But if it just goes green, we'll still make very, very solid gains, especially if we time it right. But in terms of a dead play, if we're down 50% plus on an overall dead play, we hold the trade. And then if we see an opportunity to get in on the overall trend as we're holding that dead play, we take advantage of it and we buy a second strike. And that second strike tends to be at a much better entry with much better timing, and it tends to make crazy profit returns. So we'll typically look to size in a little bit heavier on that second strike if we enter a trade and we're down 50% plus on the first one. Not that we need to do that, right? The beauty of trading the trend is you get to hold for big wins as long as you're sized in accordingly. Many traders do not hold for big wins because they're either sized in too big, they use stop losses, or they trade against the trend. Our sole focus is to be trading the trend or trading at a trend reversal level that yields us massive percentage return potential, where if this trend reversal works, it's going to be a massive bracket within our favor, a massive move, right? That's our main focus, man. Entering trades that have the highest risk to reward ratio with the lowest risk. These are the cheapest contracts in the market with the lowest risk. I mean, in terms of small accounts, they could literally just wait until power hour. You can just wait until power hour and trade SPX when it's under 100 a contract, and you could flip that to 300 to 500, sometimes over 1,000 a contract within less than just 10 to 20 minutes, trading from 3:30 to 4 p.m., right? Just make sure you're using the right broker who allows you to do that, man. But we have many traders, they just trade SPX, to grow their small account during the power hour trading session. They literally just buy 1 or 2 contracts. You can flip it into hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars in one single fucking trade on SP X, right? SPX is the one where when you're paying 50 a contract, you can sell it at 300 to 500 to 1,000 plus. Now, if you're buying a SPY contract at 50 a contract, it's more of like, 150, 200 sometimes. But to get it up to like 500 to 1,000, that's where SPX comes in, man. So if you're serious about trading alongside with us, it's the first link down below in the description. For those of you who decided to be self-sufficient and apply what it is that I taught you with the levels, I told you, oversold, extended hours, levels that have not been tested, break and retest, gap close reversals to fill the gap above. If you've been applying the information and you've been using the 30-minute candlestick confirmations, I would hope that you bought calls today and you absolutely fucking crushed it buying calls, because in terms of the signals, every signal was there. Like I said, it was just so fucking clear. If you studied the trend during extended hours, If you specifically go back, just go back and watch all the game plans, you'll see exactly what it is I'm talking about. The extended hours trend, where whenever there was resistance in extended hours and the SPY had a massive breakout and it came back to retest that, previous resistance, the break and retest, it will continue to go up and push higher. It happened right here, right? This is why when the fucking SPY retest 495, I'm going to be buying calls at the speed of fucking light, because this shit fucking works at the speed of fucking light. You know how many multimillionaires are watching my stuff and implementing this fucking curriculum? This doesn't work by fucking accident. This works for its reasons. These are specific levels with strategies that are designed to work 80% plus of the fucking time. And with the system we've created, it's an advanced system. You can be fucking profitable with a 30% fucking win rate, right? But I told you, I made it very, very clear that this was a clear trend as of recently. I pointed out the fucking trend, and then it's my job to not only capture the trend. So capturing a trend is saying, oh, we're at the spot of the trend. Well, can you confirm it? Can you confirm? Okay, so what's a confirmation? Confirmation is it going to work? Is that trend going to continue to work? Is it going to have that reversal? Is it going to keep on pushing with the trend? What's the best time to enter? There's levels to this, man. I'm telling you, there's fucking levels to this. Like, in terms of how I see the market, this is everything I created. This is literally the curriculum that I've created, how my third eye fucking views it. Like, I told you the pattern, and then I said, oh, there's more resistance right here at 598. Break, retest, extended hours. Break, retest, extended hours. So whenever the fucking SPY drops back to those levels during the normal fucking trading hour session, and we're seeing green 30-minute fucking candles, it's going to fucking explode. And then I combine that with the green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmation in the pre-market with an hour consolidation. Overreaction to the downside makes the trade better. That's what I want. I want overreaction to the downside in a short period of time. I want SPY to lose all of its fucking gains, and then once it hits one of my oversold levels, break and retest, there's multiple break and retest levels. There's a break and retest level right here at 594.50. So I use the fucking confirmation. Like, well, which level is going to be? Use the confirmations. Use the confirmations. It could be this level, it could be this level. I mean, it tends to work at all the fucking levels, but you have to use confirmations, right? Might not work at the first level, right? But oversold levels, break and retest, it fucking worked. Green bullish 30-minute fucking candlestick. This fucking wick right here. And then the gap close reversals. Said there's a gap to fill right here at 598. There's a gap to fill right here at 601. It's reversing at the fucking gap. When it reverses at the gap, what's it doing? It's serving a purpose. Purpose is it's going back up to fill this gap that was waiting to fill above. It gapped down. It filled this gap right here. Red bearish 30. Gap close reversal. Sold off. Filled the gap at 598. Gap close reversal. Spiked back up to fill the gap at 605.30. Like, man, I'm putting you on to the most simple system that can make you money non-fucking stop. Losing should be a personal fucking choice, man. The fuck? Who else do you fucking know is giving you this fucking information? I give you the best fucking levels. I give you the best fucking confirmation. Like, dude, you should be going green. Non-fucking stop. Use the levels. Use the curriculum. Wait to trade the best setups at the best prices. So, that's what we ended up doing today, man. Like I said, I'm the one who created this. At the end of the day, I know how to trade it best. I know how to time it well. I know how to wait for the perfect confirmations. I'm going to trade the best, man. So if you want to get access to our real-time trades, trade alongside with us and learn how to do this, it's the first link down below in the description. But I can assure you, if you're just being self-sufficient and using the game plans, you should be going green. It's just, I don't think, people are going to be able to do it as well as I've been doing it, because I've been doing it for over a fucking decade. And like I said, I just know exactly what it is I look for. And it's the people who create the curriculum, are going to be the ones who tend to get the best fucking results, right? But it's the first link down below in the description if you do want to join us. And you guys let me know how you've been doing in terms of using the overall game plan and stuff like that. I will see you guys within the chat.